I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahamaland to the foundation.
Give me 2 seconds, guys. Just 2 seconds. I can take care of this. 2 seconds. One, two. Mic check. 1, 2. Oh my God. Hope you can hear me now. You can hear me now? You can hear me now? I don't know. Oh God, I don't understand. Anyway, technology is something that you got to check and double check and triple check and quadruple check. But I set everything up and it's supposed to be good. I can hear myself here in the studio, so please forgive me about that. Let's start again. It is a Friday evening, warm and easy selector. I wanted you to know that because can you hear that? Can you hear that? Warm and easy selector. Bim. Grateful to be in your company, man. I said, let me start over for you since we ain't got it. You couldn't hear it. It's a beautiful day, guys. Always grateful to be in your company. Always grateful to jam with you like this. I can't play too much of this for these people. Flag my situation. We're here. We're on Mark Zuckerberg's internet and Oprah's internet. We're here. We're jamming with you. Grateful to be in your company. Hope you guys are good out there. We are set up to have some very good conversations today. My cousin Richard Cartwright should be here in a couple of seconds. I don't know why he's late. He normally never late, right? But he should be here in a few seconds with us, and we're going to be talking with Kai Mills today, independent candidate out of North Abaco, and really being able to dissect his position and being able to identify those particular things. We're going to climb into it slowly but surely. We're going to have these conversations about growth and development nationally and strategic political positions to identify who is who and what is what. That's what we're going to do in this kind of a space, and I hope you're here to jam with us and continue to be able to talk with us like that. I think I can let him sit right there. Yeah, I think that's the best shot right there. We can just be able to twist the camera like that. Uh-oh. Yeah, we can just be able to twist the camera like that. and just be able to. Okay, we could do that. We could do that. We could have that kind of a conversation, right? Well, I'm here, guys, and I'm grateful for you and to you. Had a great conversation. Look out for the conversation this evening. It was a pre-recorded show. We pre-record the show for the rundown. We pre-record that show, so Friday's show is not necessarily a live show, but we structure it as though it's live, and so you will be able to see us tonight. My guest tonight is going to be Garth Roseborough and Gabrielle Anius. It's a very provocative, something with P conversation. It's really pushing the envelope of what our social expectations are in those particular areas. So it's important that you dive in with us and see exactly what we want you to be a part of it. You can give us a call. I'd like you to do that, 827-0111. Find out more about what's happening. Tell me more about what's happening, whether or not, wherever you are. Listen, man, don't be a stranger. All right? Don't be a stranger. You're going to be able to hear us live in full effect in due time and due season. We got our antenna going up. And so we're doing some stuff, making some things happen. Yeah, like I said, when you're working with a small man, this is what you got to do. You're working with a small man, small business, and those finances don't sit down waiting on you. So you got to be able to take your time with those particular things. Growing the raises fiscal concern. This is what it is. BUAP calls for government intervention in the industrial agreement dispute. Man accused of raping a woman at his home. A 55-year-old man. This is heavy. A 55-year-old man was Thursday accused of raping a woman at his home. Robert Ramming was not required to enter a plea to the charge that he appeared before Magistrate Abigail Farrington on bail was denied. Bail was denied. The matter was adjourned until May 29th from the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. The charge concerns an incident that allegedly took place at the residence off Charles Sanders Highway on February 21st. Let's read a little taste of this, see what's up. The 31-year-old complaint. She told the police that a stranger picked her up from a bar in Centerville area on his motorcycle. Oh, Jesus God. Sir, you ain't coming out of jail. Let's read this. On his motorcycle. I thought she'd come to your house. Let's read. The man alleged to be Ramming took her to his home. Oh, no, this don't sound right. This don't sound right. We can start off like this. Let's be decent. This don't sound right. He picked her up on his little motorbike. He took her to his home when he allegedly raped her. That's a lot. I don't get into the court business, but they should have given this man bail. The story don't sound, and that's all it is, you know. It don't continue. It don't say nothing else. It don't say nothing else. It don't say continue on page 4. That's the beginning and the end of the story. He was in Centerville. He picked the woman up. He carried her all the way to Charles Sanders Highway from Centerville. She was on this bike the whole time, holding on to him, driving on the back of the bike. Just make sure. The 31-year-old told the police that the stranger picked her up from a bar in Centerville area on his motorcycle. So you hold on from Centerville to Charles Sanders Highway, jump off the bike, and walk in the man's house. This seemed to be a man on a mission who understood what the assignment was, and he didn't even stop for gas. He said, we got to go home now. You, on the other hand, indifferent, unsure, maybe this is the first time you're doing something like this, Maybe you're in a peculiar space. It's a lot. And it's a lot to have this man in jail till May 29th to be able to find out the truth of this matter. I think we should give some leniency to these particular matters because it's your word against mine and I should not have to suffer, even if I can be able to come to you and give a countersuit or sue you for, defamation, sue the government for whatever, I shouldn't have to go through this. I should be innocent until proven guilty, at least with an opportunity to be able to clear myself in these areas. I don't know whether or not this man is a flight risk. Where he ain't get nowhere. I don't know. He can be able to answer for these particular charges. So let's talk about that. Goodman faces possible life in prison. Malcolm Goodman, a Bahamian boat captain. Listen, I'm interested to hear more about this. I think we've taken on this kind of a position of really being able to talk about this sort of an idea about Michael Goodman and how he say, I can eat it. I didn't know. I kept thinking about, I can eat this. I can eat it. In colloquial terms, he may be, I can take this one for the team. That's what it could be. Or he's just trying to be able to be, I don't know, sarcastic and say, oh, no, this wasn't for public distribution. This was for consumption, personal consumption. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know him. But as I read these stories, I want to know if he can turn over. How things are laid out in the United States, in the United States of America right now, and their relationship with the Bahamas. They have more informants in the Bahamas than you could shake a stick at. They get a check from these Bahamian fellas around here. A lot of them is just get a check. They just get a check as an informant. They are informants. They round here, they just pick up information and they just go give it back. They are informants. So if you find yourself in the position that you need to be able to talk with clarity and say what happened, what didn't happen, after 200 kilos, they stop you just 4 miles off of Fort Lauderdale. They wanted you in U.S. soil. They didn't want to catch you in international waters. They wanted you in U.S. territory, 4 miles off the coast. This is you, the United States of America. You're in the U.S. You're in the U.S. Let's just be clear about this. There's no two ways about this. You're in the United States of America. Okay? Just shoot straight. I don't even know whether or not he could turn over. Like how we say in our colloquial terms, if he could turn crown. They've already acquired all the information. They watch Marvin Johnson them and do all them things, and all these people. The gentleman who was walking up and down, they watch him for 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. There was nothing he could have tell him. He could have been able to say to be able to get some sense of lenience, because they would have gathered all the information already about every single person who had any part of that link in that chain. Every single link in that chain, he had information on. They had information on. It's difficult to have these kind of a conversation because the truth is that you're looking at these and you want to be very optimistic, but this looks grim. This looks grim. And I don't know whether or not Marvin is going to be able to pop back up in the conversation as they try to be able to dissect who is who and what is what. But this looks grim. I can say that to you. It looks grim. I hope all the best for these guys, and I hope that they find themselves in the position for that they can be able to move forward and make some things happen. But I don't know. I don't know. I got to be able to shoot straight with you and let you know that. I don't know. We're looking at these things and we're very, very optimistic about these things, right? I don't know. I mean, I guess depending on your political side, you'd like to be able to see some people taken care of and knocked out entirely. Let's talk about it. 827-0111, 827-0111. Coming up, we're going to be talking with Kai Mills in a couple of minutes. Now, we wanted to be able to have this conversation with Kai Mills because, truthfully, I was disturbed when I saw a video the other night. Kai Mills out in front of his house as his looked to be taxi was on fire. And he said that the water pressure was low and he wasn't able to do these things. And so I'd like to find out, without him being able to give any significant allegations or point any specific fingers, I'm sure he can be able to assert who he believes it may be, alleges it may be. But I'm interested to see that this is the route of our politics, and whether this level of politics only exists in Abaco, known for blowing up a man or burning. Yeah, come on, let's talk. Wait, hey, y'all didn't want to talk. Is this level of politics known only to be relegated to Abaco? Yeah, because these are the same people who tried to, allegedly, the way the story goes, to blow up our first prime minister. And so I'd like to be able to know. So Kai Mills is maybe in about 5 minutes or so, we're going to be able to give him a call and see exactly what's what. In loving memory of Kelly Ingram in the papers today. Died 24th of February 2025. From Hubert and Dolores Ingram. Right Honorable Hubert and Dolores Ingram, our family and the loved ones. Wow, it's been a year already. That's crazy, eh? Times just fly. Former Prime Minister's daughter is in the paper today. And we're looking at that for, she's passed away 1 year ago. 1 year ago today. OAS workshop opens at Margaritaville. U.S. visa and migration discussed at CARICOM meeting. Prime Minister Philip Davis is back in country after attending the CARICOM heads of government meeting in St. Kitts and Nevis when Caribbean leaders and government officials gathered to discuss various issues affecting the region. Press Secretary Keishla Adeling yesterday divulged that migration and USA visas halts were almost amongst the topics and discussed during a meeting, which was also attended by the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. The issue of migration was at the top of the issues during the discussions, including visa issues. This is what Adley says. As you know, late last year, a decision was taken by the United States of America to hold on the application process for non-tourist visas, and that, of course, was the cause for concern for the CARICOM and governments elsewhere, and of course, for persons who travel and may want to work in the United States of America. Adderley stated that during the meeting, Rubio assured regional leaders that the visas holds are attributed to ongoing revisions by the United States of America as the country ensures that it is satisfied with the protocols surrounding the process. The assurance was given by Secretary of State Marco Rubio that the hold on the processing of those documents is just of a nature that has to do with the revisiting protocols and making sure that those processes are in place and they are happy with the processes in place and the interests of the United States of America government, and it's nothing more and nothing less. That's it. Marco Rubio has a responsibility of being able to say that to you. Let's just be very clear about this, okay? Marco Rubio has a responsibility of saying this to you. But the truth of the matter is they have to make a determination. That's what it seems like they're doing. They have to be able to look at these particular numbers, and I don't know whether they should have stopped everything, but they decided to. But they had to look at these numbers to make a determination. Trump needs to identify, and his administration needs to identify, where are the proverbial riffraff coming from? Where's the majority of the proverbial riffraff coming from? If it's coming from Haiti, they already did what they had to do. But they now have to make an assessment of the 46 million people that exist in the Caribbean region to determine who is coming to the United States most often. And if we look at that, now we have to contrast that by who's coming most often against who is staying the longest. Who seeks to be able to come here from a legal standpoint and stay here. Now, they've already made those particular assessments. It is now time for them to make a determination as to where they're going to be able to process or how they're going to deduce the American visas and distribution thereof. So where they would have given you the Bahamas a 7-year visa, it may now be sort of a 6-month visa. Yeah, it's going to be reduced. It's going to be reduced. And this is not the first time that this happened. Under former administrations, they took a second look at this particular position, because if you remember, we used to have visas at the heyday of this relationship between the United States of America and the Bahamas. We used to have visas that was indefinite. There was a stamp in your passport, and it was like an indefinite visa. You had a visa just to be able to travel to the United States of America. There was pre-clearance here. There was pre-clearance in Grand Bahama. You had a visa. You can do as you please. It's sort of moving back and forth. And then there was a stipulation indicated they revoked those particular visas, and then the revocation or being able to take those particular things back, what they did was being able to institute these visas for short terms. All right, so you get a couple visas for a couple of years, so forth and so on. And even now, as things change from a global standpoint, we're recognizing, understanding, and I believe that we could have a greater appreciation for the fact that a lot of persons are just seeking to be able to go into the United States of America and hide. They got to go into the United States of America and hide. We must fix this, is what Trump says. And he sits at the helm, and he gets to make those decisions. And I don't think it was a horrible decision. I don't think it stops us, because we're still being able to go to the United States of America without. Ooh. Yeah. Now he's going to have to make a determination as to exactly who's who and what's what. Let's be clear about this. I don't think it's a big deal. It's really, in my mind, if we're going to be humbly and honest with you, the United States of America gets to make their own decisions. This is their sovereignty. This is their nation. And you may be up in arms because of this sort of an idea that's associated with the fact that this is where liberty exists, where access exists, where, you have your fun. And you want to be able to have that kind of a liberty to move here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, it's okay. But I think that as long as your police record's still good, we could still travel. Now, you may not necessarily be able to go on a boat. You could come back on a boat if you don't have your visa. But you can still travel. You go through all the necessary things that you have to do, because we still got pre-clearance. They haven't moved that. I don't think they've moved that. No, I don't think they've moved that. So we still got pre-clearance. You still got immediate access into the United States of America. We could go. You go. It's light work. You go. Get your police record and go. And let America work these particular things out. Wait for Marco Rubio and others to come back to us and say what they're going to do. You just do what you have to do. You're going to sit down here and scream at Trump and tell him what he has to do. Now, I don't know how the Caribbean brothers and sisters are going to work it out. That on them. They're going to have to figure out how to work this out. And I think it was a good conversation. Marco Rubio has already showed us his position, which is the position of Trump and Trump's administration, that they're taking no prisoners. The speech that they had the other night could be able to give you clarity and make you to understand that they're taking no prisoners. They ain't into that. They want to be able to have a a pristine tenure. They want to be able to say that no one has come across the border, no one has done this, no one has done. They want to say that. That's a peculiar thing to say, I must say. It's a peculiar thing to say. And we understand. I long for the day that we can be able to have that kind of a courage from our political standpoint. I long for that day. I long for the day that we can be able to sit here and commend the government of the Bahamas for being able to take a strong stand on illegal migration with persons coming in from elsewhere. I long for the day that our government recognizes and understands that the turmoil that exists in other regions and subsectors around the world can end up at our front door. And it's important with their intelligence to identify the markers, the indicators that there may be persons coming into our region. There should be intelligence that gives them insight, both internally and from an external standpoint based upon diplomatic relationships, that gives them insight to know what to look out for. I think when the United States of America had the entire world looking out for Osama bin Laden, I think we here would have received intelligence to be able to identify any persons of interest in the United States of America who come through our borders, possibly. But it's important that we understand these things. And it cannot just be individuals, it has to be nations. For what's going on in Venezuela, for what's going on in Cuba, for what's going on in in Haiti, for what's going on in these particular spaces, yeah, there should be a significant caution associated with being able to let these particular persons in. And you got to be able to figure out with clarity. You got to keep a track on these people. This is just my personal, humble opinion. If they're coming into the Bahamas, they're going to be staying at the Crystal, I'm going to say Crystal Palace, but if they're going to be staying at Breezes Super Club, let's do that. They're coming into the Bahamas, they're here on vacation, they're bringing their family, they're staying at Breezes Super Club. Where do you work? Where's your place to stay? What's your address? Where you come from? All of these things. And you should be able to, within 7 days, check on them just to make sure that they're here. There should be a mechanism if your country is under significant duress. Yeah, this is not a political haven. This is not where you can get refuge. You understand what I'm saying? This is not asylum. You can't claim asylum in the Bahamas. We don't do that. Sorry, we don't do that. And so we need to be able to find a way to be able to ensure that these people, because guess what? Let me just shoot straight with you. Y'all don't ever like to talk like this. And maybe today we're going to start doing like this. We are egotistical, superficial people. As Bahamians. Not all of us fit in the same bucket. And if you share that kind of an egotistical concept and that superficiality offer you, then praise God for you. But you come with it. It's a part of the package. Like them 2 batteries that come with Elmo, this was a part of the package. Ego and superficiality. Vanity. That's a part of who he is. Okay? We like pretty gals. We're talking for men now. We like light skin, pretty gals with a nice little shape. Listen, I'm not saying nothing out of the way. I'm just making you to understand something clearly. There is a desire to be, when you are appealed, like Rachel, when the guys look like Rachel, easy to look upon. Bahamian fellas like that, they pile up in Cuba right now. and Santo Domingo. Pile up looking for the long hair gals. In the underground world, in Cuba and in Santo Domingo, prostitution is the number one industry. The number one industry. Now, I don't think anybody would have stretched out far as Venezuela. I know I heard people having conversation about they get into not Puerto Rico. Oh Lord, right here. Oh, Panama. They go into Panama. They could get jeans. They get 6 jeans for $12, and it's just what it is. I don't know why you're pretending with me. Oh my God, Howard, Jesus, you don't have to talk to. Oh, all right. We don't have to say it, but this is what it is. The Bahamian people are egotistical and superficial. Bahamian men. Unless there's intervention of Jesus Christ, unless there's intervention of some self-assured position that elevates above that, this is what they want. We want light-skinned gals with long hair. It's fantasy. And as they bleed into our society, see, that's why we will fight and have an indifference with Haiti. I can't get an amen. And you fight and have an indifference with Haiti because of the superficial concept and the presentation. This is not appealing to your fantasies and your desires. But the same prospect, concept, idea presented to you in the space of a Cuban or a Venezuelan. But you know, it ain't that bad. Y'all can stay right in the back, get one back room right there. You can be all right. You don't speak English? That's all right. I'll learn how to speak your language. That's what it is. I'm watching in this society. Y'all don't want me to talk like this, you know. I'm watching in this society right here. Men and women getting these women from, men getting these, men, women, you know. Some women marrying externally also. Men, for the most part, getting women, they getting their build a bride. They getting women from external places, bringing them to the Bahamas, marrying them. Marrying them. When you go to school right now, you look around in the first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. Peppered with different faces. Peppered. It's going to be difficult to have this kind of a conversation with you because there's this imbalance that exists in our country, because you would seek to be able to go hard against what you perceive to be ugly and unwanted in Haitians, which is an unfortunate thing. But you go hard for the accommodation and the rights and liberty and access and opportunity for Venezuelans and other persons of a lighter hue. And I don't know why no one wakes up and really want to have that kind of a clear, honest conversation. It's a taboo conversation, but that's what it is. That's what it is. So when we look at these things and when we start to talk about these things, the imbalance that exists here, the imbalance that's being identified in these, Trump don't see that, you know. Trump don't see what we see. Like how our xenophobia is concentrate into a particular area and we identify them as unwanted. Yeah, because I remember growing up. Because it is not only Haitians, it's also Jamaicans. Gonna be honest with you? I just gonna be honest with you. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. We're back. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, this thing freaked out. It's a difficult conversation to have, and we don't want to talk about these things. We don't want to talk about our xenophobia. We don't talk about our likes. We don't want to talk about these particular things. We want a light skinned baby. We want a light skinned woman. We want to bite her while she turned red. We like that. Oh my God, we like that. We like when we squeeze her. We can see our handprint on her. Oh God, we like that. I'm only talking for men. I don't know about women. That don't work when you, if it's not like a genuine thing, if you're not just naturally light skinned, it don't work if you bleach your skin. It's not the same principle that applies. I just want to be decent with you. As I'm saying this and I'm identifying these things, I'm only thinking about CARICOM. I'm only thinking about how we're viewed in these particular capacities. And it's important for us to be able to pepper these conversations with the level of structure and formality that is acceptable and palatable to all. Yeah, I could ingest this. This is good information. Yeah. They didn't speak more specifically about my dislike or disdain for these particular persons. I like that. Yeah. Donald Trump already called all of us asshole countries, the 46 million of us that live in the Caribbean. We're dumps. We're lowlives. He wants to go to Norway. He wants more things from Greenland. He wants to be able to identify these people who are from the mountains of Caucasus. That's just what it is. I don't know why why we put so much complexity to these particular issues and trying to be able to drag our vanity and our caveman approach through the lens and filter of a time that expects us to be socially acceptable and articulate with these particular things. That's not what's happening here. That's not what's happening here. There is a disdain. There is a dislike. There is a disregard. And as a result of this, we are distanced from their particular position. That's it. And these persons in CARICOM will sit down and listen to Marco Rubio, have this conversation with them about the possibility of being able to pull some people together. And this is America's position. We assure you it's nothing more than nothing less. All this is hatred. This is a new concept and idea for gentrification. This is a new dispensation for segregation. This is a new approach with formality to clannish activity. Y'all don't want to talk like this? Jesus. That's what it is. That's what it is. Nothing wrong with it. Y'all do y'all and I do me. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong with your business. I don't see nothing wrong with you not liking me. Unlike Black Americans, I got someplace to go to call home. Unlike Black Americans, I could go home. Now, Ghana has opened itself up to Black America and to all persons in the diaspora to come there, get a piece of land, develop it, do what you have to do. But you've become comfortable. And this administration, and I believe progressive administrations, Democrats included, will lend a hand in instituting some form of discomfort going forward. I don't care what you say. This sort of an agitation that's erupting from the Democrats during this particular time. There is a level of compliance here. There is a level of compliance that exists in this particular space. They needed a man like Donald Trump that has the balls to do the things that they wanted to do. And it's okay. It's okay. This is not an argument. I keep telling you, everyone has their plan. The only people who don't have a plan is the observers. I told you the FNM has their plan, the PLP has their plan. The only people that don't have a plan is the Bahamian people. The Democrats have their plan. The Republicans have their plan. The only people that don't have a plan is the observers. I'm not talking to people who adhere or subscribe to their political positions. I'm simply saying to you with clarity that you need to identify a plan for you. I'm convinced that life is going to shift. I'm convinced. I am absolutely convinced through my reading, through my dreams from when I was a child, through the sayings of my grandparents and old-time preachers. And I am convinced, after I've yielded myself to this faith and I grew in it and I learned and I studied to show myself approved and I identify these things, I'm convinced that life will change. I'm convinced that life will change for all of us. For all of us. I am convinced. When if the Word of God says to me that I must make this kind of determination by being able to, just as I check the weather, and make a determination of a shift and a potential shift that's coming in the weather based upon rumblings before that storm actually reaches, I should have that sensitivity socially, locally, globally, from a humanistic standpoint, to understand that there's a shift that's afoot. Can I get an amen? Can we talking or we ain't talking? I am convinced with everything that I have that this life and the comforts that we access now will change. I'm absolutely convinced. I'm believing that as a result of the shift that is inevitable, this is what I believe. See, everybody want to be able to get back to normal. That's the worst thing that Hubert Minnis could have ever said. Get back to a sense of normality, normalization, whatever. There is an insensitivity and a disconnect and a desire to be able to keep yourself in this position and a lack of preparation that will always catch you with your pants down, and anyone with their pants down will be screwed. I am convinced, as I say this, that life will change. I'm convinced that there will become deprivation in our society. Economically, monies won't move the way that it should move. Opportunities become slim and far between. There will become this sort of an idea that persons become enraged and start to be able to deduce and identify that there is a separation. I believe that there will be civil wars breaking out in different spaces as people continue to wrestle and jockey for a position and power. I believe that these things was going to I believe it. I believe it. This is just macro issues that you are observing, but there is going to be micro issues as it relates to civil war, as it relates to all these particular things. I believe that these things will happen. I believe it. I believe it. If it don't happen, praise God, but I'm preparing myself in my heart, my spirit, my mind, my steps to accept these things. And how do I maneuver? Yeah, I can need a piece of property someplace in one of these high mountains. See the mountain behind me? I can need a property someplace high. See, I'm gonna accept the fact that you see that I'm indifferent. Call me weird, that's fine. Call me weird, that's fine. But the Word of God says to me that study to show yourself approved. And in my studies, I understand that there are some principles that exist, that the Word of God is just not for the faithful. That this word that has been released is just not for the faithful. Just release. There was something that I was watching the other day, and they said that when the Holy Spirit comes down, oh, Howard, what you talking about? Just listen, man. Don't fight me. Let's talk. If you disagree, call me. Let's talk about it. I was watching something the other day, and they said that when there is an extraction of the Spirit of God and the presence of God, then the electricity will leave the atmosphere. When our ability to see the aurora borealis and all these things like that, all these things would leave. I was reading on something like that. And I thought about it, and I thought it in connection with us, and I thought it in connection with all these particular things. I thought about it. I really did think about it. And then thinking about it, I said to myself, I said, boy, you know what's amazing? The Holy Spirit got all of us charged. I believe that we're going to have a major issue as we become consumed with sin. and the desire to be able to go contrary from God, I believe we're going to have a major problem. And my only issue is that we have leadership that's not thinking ahead. They're thinking about tangibles. They're thinking about acquisition of stuff. They're thinking about presentation. They're thinking about the comforts of the Bahamian people. And I'm not just talking about this administration. I'm talking about administrations and the mindsets of leaderships that gravitate towards these positions. I'm talking about Michael Penton. I'm talking about all these particular persons. There's a mindset associated with this of being able to give you more of what you have. Yeah. They're not going to step outside of the boundaries of what has been comfortable and recognizable to you. Now, let's just shoot straight. Some of these things may not be, if I'm going to be very clear and honest with you, some of these things may not be valuable to you in due time and due season, but this is what it is. This is what it is now. This is what it is. Look at it. Let's shoot straight. You need to figure out how you survive. How do you strengthen yourself? How do you create a space to be able to feed yourself and feed your children? How do you do these things? You gonna wait till the people come up on you and you ain't got enough beauty in can? You gonna wait till the thing drop on you and you, oh my God, I only got 7 noodles in it. Oh Jesus, I only got about 7 noodles. What I can do? You can't even, prostitution can't even help you at that point. Because there's nothing you could give and people exchange that for their survival. It's just not going to help you. Now, I don't want to speak like a doomsdayist or one of these anarchy, I don't want to speak like that. I just want to be able to have a very clear conversation with you and say to you, you're naive if you don't believe that life will change. Life has changed over the past 40 years, almost 5 to 6 times. Life has changed for us in 1992. Let's be clear about this. Life has changed for us. You hear me? Life has changed for us in 2002. Life has changed for us in 2004. Life has changed for us in 2008. Life has changed for us in 2012 to 15, right? Life has changed for us. Life has changed for us. And so let's just be very clear about these things. Let's be honest with it. Let's be clear about it. Let's talk with clarity about these things. And if life is changing for us, are we prepared for the next dispensation? That's all I want to know. Are we prepared for movement, for growth and development? Is our preparation hoping that our relationship with the United States of America stays intact, that they can continue to give us things? That's not going to happen. The tariff wars can show you that things are going to shift. What's happening in Gaza can show you that things are going to shift. What Marco Rubio has come out down here and said about our relationships, but being able to forge relationships with people that live within our own region, is saying to us that some things are going to change. The way that Herschel Walker has taken on this kind of a position to say, mind your relationship with China, has said to you that you have to make a determination where your allegiances lie. And I don't believe that the government of the Bahamas is playing this barge, you know. I don't believe that they're looking at it one way or another. I believe that right there in the middle of the road between China and America is where we played it for a very long time, but their aggression is becoming to rise on both sides. America is becoming more aggressive to be able to commandeer what they identify as theirs in terms of relationships, in terms of territory, in terms of people. They are seeking to commandeer what is theirs. We thought it was a joke when they started to have this kind of a conversation that they wanted Canada. We thought it was a joke when they started to talk about the fact that they wanted Norway. We all laughed when he said that we're going to be able to own the Gaza Strip and being able to turn it to the Riviera of the East. We're laughing at these things, but every successive release that comes out of the White House and from these particular persons make us to understand that, oh my God, Make America Great Again was one of the greatest global gentrification programs that ever existed. And they're seeking to be able to identify their relationships, their partnerships, and not pull you in as a partner or as an equal. You have now become subservient, and you sit in this particular position. This is what's happening around the world. Marco Rubio is responsible for being able to say this. This is what Marco Rubio say. The assurance was given by Marco Rubio that the hold on processing of those documents is just a nature that has to do with revisiting the protocols and making sure that the processes are in place. And they are happy, they meaning America and those persons in charge, are happy with the processes in place in the interest of the United States of American government. And it's nothing more and nothing less than that. So don't ask again. That's just what it is. Don't ask me no more about what we doing in America. In fact, I come here to tell you, watch your behind, how you dealing with this, and this. Marco Rubio ain't got no time for that. He come down here and tell us what we need to do with our Cuban nurses. Jesus God Almighty, what? We need these people. You know, American nurses coming here and the people bleeding on the bed and they got to do this and that. Yeah. Marco, Big Mac. We need some help. Yeah, but this ain't how you get help. Watch yourself. And that was it. What you can do? What you can do? Our prime minister's taken on this kind of position to identify these things. They've made modifications, and they run those modifications through Marco Rubio. Just to assure that, listen, just for our diplomatic relationship and the pleasures that we've enjoyed of being able to have good relationships with you, we wanted to be able to show you this. And that's what they did. But you could imagine me ever. People just ask me, how would you dress you? And you see me go on the thing with my little pink tie and pink shirt and blue and all these things like that, pink pocket piece and all these, and my little lapel pin and all these things like that. They say, how would you dress you? And I say, I dress myself. Or people assume, boy, how would your wife get you? Wife get you straight, boy. How would your wife get you straight? And I say, okay. And I just go with that. But me and my wife know that ice get me straight. Not in a bad way. Me and my wife know that. But I can tell you from here to Jesus. One time ago, I asked her, baby, how you like this? You like this look good? And from the time I asked her that, every time I doing something, let me see it. No, I don't think you should wear that with this. You should change that and this and that. That is going to be the relationship between us and America from now going forward. If you had to put your sovereign information towards Marco Rubio for being able to identify and make the assessments about exactly what's happening, going forward, you're going to have to do the exact same thing. You're going to be compelled. I want to ball. Let me ask them. So we become an annex. We become a part of. We become subservient. Whether that's articulated or not, we know our position. And this is what's happening. When we get back, guys, I'm going to take this quick commercial break. When we get back, I'm going to be sitting down and talking with my good cousin, Richard Cartwright, and we're going to give a call to our North Abaco independent candidate, Kai Mills. So we're going to have a good conversation, guys. Let me take this quick commercial break. Let me get back right after this. Let me take this. Hold on.
Taking Bahamian music to the world.
This DJ
Sampler. Hit that subscribe button like a goat skin drum.
Hello, Ricky. It's Johnny Gate. Man. Listen, don't believe they're trying to keep us locked down. They want us to go inside the kill man. Till I get breaking straight, man. That's sweet music. You know why they go there. You know when they go there, it's kill man. Watch this. When the music plays, I'm the first one to dance. Sexy gal don't whine on me while I rum in my hand. Reggae spread so sweet, don't think you understand. I go in to mash up the place every time I go by the farm. I always get catch, drinking till I lose and I wet. Nobody gon' watch me if I can't bad and I sweat. On your market set, drunk but I ain't missing a step. Man, if you ain't feel the vibe, then stay over there by yourself. When Reagan's great return, I got dance, I got sing, I got wave play sample of bussin', mothers.
It's 3 a.m. and I'm waiting for the sun. Lost track of the days, man. Lucky this ain't no fun. Cell phone in my left hand, TV on my right. My mouth got too dry 'cause there ain't no rum inside. Longing for the days when I was wild and free. Out to everything was lit, not a care or worry. Now it's like I joined the clan of HMP, but I ain't commit no crime, so please set me free. Loose me, let me go. I don't want be inside no more. Loose me, let me go. This is killing me, that's for sure. So let me out, let me out, let me out, yeah, let me out. Loose me, let me go. I don't want be inside no more. Loose me, let me go. This is killing me, that's for sure, yeah.
Mothers, they say we on lockdown?
When we went to that, I'm tired, yeah. Life inside ain't as easy as it seems. Sit back, let me tell you exactly what I mean. The children say fighting, date up everything. I'm working like a slave while he sits up like a king. Can I help you? You sit and rest. Come here, babe, let me feel upon the breast. Mine is a nightmare, this ain't the life for me. I ain't commit no crime, so please just set me free. Loose me, let me go. I don't want to be inside no more. Loose me, let me go.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Foundation with Howard Grant, jamming with you on this beautiful day. Grateful to be in your company. Always grateful to be with you as we're talking about what we are in this particular space. I told you I'm going to be able to do a couple of things for you. And at this 1 o'clock hour, I'm going to be able to attempt to call Kai Mills again in this particular space and just see whether or not he is willing, open, and available to have that kind of a conversation with us. So I'll give him a shout right now and see if we can be able to do that. Okay, so he and I spoke this morning. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, you got Kai Mills Abaco.
Kai Mills, my brother. Hope all is well with you. It's so wonderful that you was able to take this call with us, man. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem, not a problem. It's hard being Kai here in Abaco.
Kai, you're on with Howard Grant, and sitting with me on my show today is my good cousin Richard Cartwright. We're just talking about a little bit of politics, and so we just wanted to kind of talk with you and talk about what I saw the other day. Right. So for those persons who would have just been tuning into the show, they don't know exactly who you are. Introduce yourself. Let persons know who you are from North Abaco.
I was born in Abaco. I'm running. This is my third time running as an independent candidate. I'm running for the Coalition of Independence for North Abaco, which they have changed the boundary on the eve of the election and caused an ultimate confusion. And every time you go up there to the administrative office, there are three different answers. So their intent was to confuse it for Bahamians, but the other people could come with the bush and register. Wherever they say they voting, that's what they do. But when Bahamians say that they're not living here after 6 years, they're living here, they say, no, this is where we gonna register you. But the criminal part of it is that, as far as I know, we have one Parliamentary Election Act. Mm-hmm. But in Dunderstan, we have two, because the corruption of the people in charge. We have that they moved Dunderstan polling division from Dunderstan of North Abaco and put it in South. But listen to this foolishness. But we still have a Dunderstan Town Committee that has a meeting on behalf of Dunderstan. But according to the PLP, Dunderstan has been erased off the planet Earth. There's no more Dunderstown 10 and 11 polling division. They are moving to South 13 and 11, 13 and 14. Simultaneously, when they did that, that means the chairman of Dunderstan, who was elected by the people of Dunderstan, and by virtue of him being elected by the people of Dunderstan, he became chief counselor. So if he's no longer a resident of Dunderstan, they have moved him into Marshall. But any sensible thinking administrator would know that there is no Dunderstan Town Committee. But watch this. The smart PLP, after the government have moved Dunderstan into Central Pines, into South Abaco, they had a member from Dunderstan Town Committee died. And the smart PLP stopped people from registering because they closed the voting booth down for 2 weeks so that we could pick a person for Dunderstan. While there's no Dunderstan, how could you have an election for Dunderstan Town Committee when the government said there's no more Dunderstan? Dunderstan is being moved to South and Central. That's the ultimate crime that's happening here.
Are we
So,
seeing the difference between
because-
Dundestown, the community, and Dundestown, the constituency? Now, the constituency should, for all intents and purposes, fall within the community. But we've seen where these things have shifted with every boundary committee for the purposes of whoever in charge trying to identify, hey, where do we get more support? Talk to me about it.
Yes, but in this incident, they didn't switch to get support because nobody gonna vote PLP nowhere in Abaco to the amount that you change the boundary. The boundary was changed, and Hubert Ingram told me himself that he changed it because I am too strong, and they don't want me in House Assembly. That was the change of the boundary because I was strong and understand. So they changed it to avoid me from getting. I beat Darren Henfield as the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And he's from
So you
Dunderstan,
caused Darren to
and
run
I
to
beat
South
him by
Beach.
100 votes. I beat Darren Henfield by 100 votes in both of those polling divisions.
So
they
you
know my
called
strength
Darren.
there.
You caused Darren to run to South Beach.
First he run to South Abaco, and I made sure I put foot in that. I said I don't want him in no part of Abaco, not him. As bad as he was after Hurricane Dorian, so I put foot on him. The boys was trying to get him in South Abaco, and I said no, that can't happen.
You got that
Then
kind of
go to
strength,
South
guy.
Beach, yeah, done.
Guy, you got that kind of strength.
I got that kind of strength that Hubert and Brave could get together and change the constituency because Hubert told me that, Kai, you could have been elected on any party. You have that love for people, but we can't control you. See, it's all about control, and they think man is little boys. So you can't be a stud. You got to be a girl and have them switch you left, right, to center. You can't be a man to your people. You could be elected by the people, looking out for the best interests of the people, but all of a sudden, those people that believe they got more sense than you can't think no more freely, and you can't act for the people. That's why we are in the position we are now, because there's very few men that got testicles in the House Assembly. They going on party line and forgetting the people, not knowing that 4 years now, they're going to come back to the people. Half of them PLP you see in there, they ain't see their people, they ain't hear from their people in 4.5 years. Just like the Member of Parliament in North Abaco. The government has paid this boy to have an office open. You know when he opened the office? Just 2 weeks ago. And he's getting a stipend. Not only that, the government is paying him $150,000 a year to do something in his community.
You're talking about
I had to go
Kirk.
and put, yeah, and I had to go and put the dirt in the hole, the tar in the hole, as a citizen, because they don't care. So how now are you going to come after having your office closed for 4.5 years and the government paying you to ask people to vote for you? And you know the bad part about this? You imagine that you get $150,000 a year. You get everything duty free after the hurricane. You know where Clay Cornish is living today, 4 years later? You know where he's living?
Well,
People are in the trailer. Clay is living in the house with his mother and his father right across from Hubert Ingram House in Cooperstown. He has not left his mother's house yet. $150,000 a year, that's $700,000 with VNC, plus $3,000 a month to have your office open. You just open your office and you still home with your mom. You can't help yourself. So how the hell you can help anybody else?
well, talk to me
Oh,
about this now. Talking about
Yeah.
helping yourself and helping anybody else. Talk to me about this. The other night I saw you on your live, and your car was on fire. Looked like your taxi in the front of your home. What's happening in North Abaco?
That's when you are a strong person to try to do everything. I took Henfield brother burned my car down. I took it to the police, and the police did
Oh,
nothing about it.
Jesus. Hold on.
Almost killed my mother. I took her to the chief police. He took me to the clinic, and nothing happened. And these fellows them around here believe that only they mom born bad children. But every anniversary, I play the video to remind people what kind of suckers we get here. And you know what you do? You ask yourself, God, why are you doing all this? Why? Because you know you have worth. You know your quality. And all we had for the last 3 times in Abaco was garbage. They get elected by the people, and we don't see them no more till election. And you know what? The PLP and the FNM are the same. They don't want nobody. If we had a Kai Mills in every island, you know how beautiful the Bahamas would be? You imagine that the Prime Minister has spent $58 million on travel to go to Africa to see cousin the chimpanzee, and the Prime Minister has not been in the constituency of Abaco in 4.5 years, and he has not built one single house in Abaco
Well, let's talk about
in
this.
4.5 years.
Let's talk about
58 million. Now, let me just tell you this: the hurricane shelter, $4+ million. You know what the hurricane shelter is? They got a fence around it. They brought all the international people in, and not 20 people from Abaco has looked inside the $4 million hurricane shelter. If the hurricane would happen today, we couldn't have accessed it because there ain't nothing in there but an empty shell. $4 million later. That's what's going on. That's what they don't want.
But is
what they don't want you to know.
support building or is your support depleting? Now let's talk about this. The last election, the Cornish for the PLP got 1,344 votes. Darren for the Free National Movement got 1,085 votes. Kai Mill got 719 votes. This is the information that we received. Has your
I
support
got that.
grown, or do you believe it is depleted?
Kai Mills is the most watched candidate in Abaco that the PLP, they can't figure what to do when they go to the doors and you get the door slam in your face and you get the T-shirt slam in your face from Die Hard. I'm talking about people that has the medallion. They're the PLP. And all they want to do is to grab the candidate and choke him to death because they haven't seen him in 4.5 years. So he would not get them numbers. I am the only candidate that has been grown in leaps and bounds. Then you have the FNM candidate who just resigned from being an administrator. She is just opening her office this week after being ratified for months. You know why they don't want no office open? Because they don't want nobody, they say, to beg around them. So they are just there for themselves. People have recognized that we have to emancipate yourself from mental slavery. They have us slave within our own minds, and we are being so poorly socialized. You know the hard thing about what I do is when you see Christian people go on the road to campaign for the PLP and the FNM, and they couldn't bury our dead in 9 months. I do the videos to remind them because we have a very short attention span. We don't remember the suffering.
Yeah.
The fella said you could pluck all the feathers out you, but you just throw some feed on the ground. That's all Bahamian is. I'm trying to let people know that they're worth something.
Have you been approached by any of the major organizations to be able to, before they ratified anyone, to be able to jump on their ticket?
No.
Nobody
No,
approached you.
I've done that already. I've already done that. I was the favorite to run on both of them parties, but they said that I can't be controlled. They're looking for
Well, let me
a
ask you this.
bisexual man. They ain't looking for no real man. They don't want no real man.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. If the PLP, after everything with Kirk Cornish would have gone through to become vindicated by the courts, because the courts are social opinion still out there, and we can make a determination how that goes at the end of the next general election. But if the PLP has decided to be able to ratify Kirk Cornish after he's been vindicated by the courts, Darren gone out, then it can be said, just by observation, that there is a belief in the political organizations, not necessarily on the ground, but it is a belief in the political organizations that Kai Mill won't be able to get that 719 votes no more, right? And if Hubert Ingram is lending his support to Boodle in North Abaco, what is being said about her? I hear you say she just opened up her headquarters, she just stepped down from a position or whatever she's done. What is being said about her in terms of whether or not they're going to get supported in that area? For the most part, there is an affinity, a relationship with Hubert Ingram and the community. If he says, go this direction, will the people of North Abaco adhere to what Hubert Ingram is saying and follow him and put Boodle in?
Hubert Ingram is officially dead in Abaco. His name is dead. His support is dead. She is dead. And that is why she dead, because Hubert brought her. We are tired of Hubert. You know, Hubert was one of the worst things that ever happened to Abaco. I was one of Hubert's generals. But Hubert was a beast, selfish. He came with the PLP and he said to us, we brought y'all as PLP with nothing. I came from the PLP and you ain't had nothing. And when I leave the FNM, I ain't gonna leave with nothing. That's why they get pinned out. But because, I'm glad you call that big name, Hubert with the pit bull head, I'm glad you call his name. Because of Hubert.
Yeah.
Because of Hubert, that's the reason why Therese could get beat bad, because we didn't want Therese. Therese was out there in Exoma dancing up on the regatta with the PLP. All of a sudden, Hubert don't never respect Abaco. He's a very disrespectful man. He never come. And if you know the trait of a leader, I know the trait of a dictator never ever want to pick somebody to carry his mental. He want to keep beat you down. That's you, but he was a dictator. He was a PLP, and he got bad ways. And he picked somebody that has not lived among us. She may be from Kupistan, but ask her when last have she spoken or done anything for anybody in Kupistan in her lifetime.
But what this is, I hear that she didn't want to run.
She done.
I hear information
Pardon?
coming out of North Abaco that says to me that she didn't want to run, and the constituency association wanted this gentleman by the name of Gray to run. Talk to me about that.
Gary, not Gray. Gary.
Gary. What's
Gary
the last name?
Gary is who they pick. But you see, Gary is like me. You don't want nobody that could speak up. He believe he dealing with children. He ain't speaking to your own son, but he don't want nobody else to speak. That's the problem. Hubert has not lived in Abaco in 1 month in his life. He back and forth, and he has destroyed the very fabric of being F&M because of Hubert stayed too long, and he was never F&M. He was always a PLP. He said no to assembly. That's when I stopped supporting him. He said to Perry Christie, Perry was saying something, and Brentwood McCarthy was in the middle of them. And Hubert tell Perry to shut him out. I will say this you and I thing. Say we'll crush Brentwood there. He tell Perry, say, boy, I is more PLP than you'll ever be. And he was prime minister there for them. I said, that geezer, the old geezer. From that I watch him. I say he's a geezer. I couldn't support Hubert on that.
But let me ask you.
Let me tell you something about Hubert. When Hubert coming to the airport and he see me, he's scared for me to interview him on the camera. He trying to grab my camera with my hand because they have all that power, but they weak. Brave, all the power that Brave have. I wish you could get me and Brave on a radio station. Brave would be shaking like a little girl when he come in the presence of goodness. I represent goodness. And when people like Brave them come in my presence, they're cavitating and they're shaking, and you will ask like, What happened to Brave? He is in the
Yeah, but
presence
your
of
presence,
goodness.
your
He is in the
presence,
presence of Kai Mills.
Kai, your presence is going to keep, in my view, and my calculation. Oh, let me just ask you a question. Go ahead, ask the question.
Hey, Guy, what's up?
That's Richard.
I used to be down there working with Twiggy husband there. And Abaco, we did all the telephone network down there. And I ran into you a couple times. But what I've noticed the other day, I saw Kirk had his Facebook page. And I see where some of the old PLP starboard consulars, everybody was coming out the woodwork. So I was like, boy, Kirk look like he's doing something. But Therese, is she related to
all
old
the
man?
Starboard consul down there already dead, though. They ain't worrying about them. They're gonna dead, though. They made
Let me
them.
ask you something.
Only couple of them.
Yeah. Therese, what is her relationship to Mr. Shaylin Boodle and Lowell Dawes?
Who's what?
What is her relationship? Is that her family? Mr.
I
Shaylin
think all
Boodle?
the Boodle family. I don't know the relationship because
Okay.
Boodle been gone so long.
Because I know.
So I don't know what the relationship, but they're all from Cooperstown.
Yeah.
So they probably family.
So when they told you with this
But,
new map, let me ask you a question.
This is. Go ahead.
With the new map, what you're saying now with Dundas Town, with that constituency in North Abaco, has the parliamentary registrar given you a map of the redistribution of how the constituency is going to look?
I missed the question.
I'm saying
I
that,
heard about the map.
yes, every constituency is mapped it out from the previous election. Since they're now making some modification to North Abaco, have the parliamentary registrar presented you or your party with the new map laying out all of these new polling places?
I was to the parliamentary registration about 2 weeks ago when I got registered to vote in a new constituency. They didn't have the maps just yet. They have the specifications. They're telling you what it is.
I'm glad you brought that up because I had MacGyver, Dr. MacGyver, the deputy leader for the coalition, went to pick up a map for me this week. And when she brought it back, so it's different from what the administrator have here. So I have a copy of that, paid $45 for it in there, brought it here. And I look at the revised voters registration. Guess what? My name is not on there. I got my voter's card, but my name everybody else that's running name is there. But Kai Mills name is not there. So I was in my campaign office. So I took my campaign people up yesterday. Went to the administrator, look, see if you see my name. I've registered here with you. I've transferred here with you. Have you seen my name? No. I asked the girls that did my card, look in this booklet, see if you see my name. They ain't see it. Why it's not there? So they have fumbling, fibbling. So you go onto one computer, say, oh, but their name in the computer. I say, it in the computer? Why is not on the revised booklet and everybody else's name that went there and transfer when I did? Why they named there? Why is my name particularly not on there? They just studying skullduggery. Harrison Thompson, they need to get the police for him because he represents crookedology. He ain't playing fair.
Let me ask you this question.
Administrative office ain't playing fair here.
I know you're busy. I'm gonna keep you all day, so I will ask you this question.
I'm busy. I can talk all day. I'm glad you called so I can get it off my chest. I ain't got nowhere to go. I park in my taxi.
You're still the same guy. Kai, you ain't changed, you know.
The PLP is the worst government since Jesus Christ came on earth. And 52 years ago, you know what the FNM did during that time? They had the mask on robbing us. This group of PLP is so greedy and grovelicious and all for me. They
But you
take
working-
the mask
watch
off
it,
so
watch
they
this
can
guy.
blatantly steal from us.
Guy.
That's the thing.
If
You know what
you
I want? This is
can-
what I want when I go to House Assembly. I want you to ask me this. Let me talk. Let me get this off my chest.
Go ahead.
This is the only thing I want when I go to House Assembly.
Okay.
I want y'all to find me a cow cock. You know what a cow cock is?
I know what it is.
I need to hit each one of them crooks who licks behind their back to straighten them out. It's going to be a different House Assembly when Kai Mills
It sounds like it's a very aggressive House of Assembly. So let's talk about this now, Kai. Now, most recently, you would have heard Michael Pintard say something, I think out of Grand Bahama, but more specifically being able to speak to the fact that if any vote that is not for the Free National Movement, it is for the PLP. If you don't vote directly for the Free National Movement, you're voting, even if you vote For the COI, you're voting for the PLP. Point being,
Who said that?
Michael Pintard. Point being,
Michael Pentard ain't got no sense. Ask Michael Pentard man last year have a job. You know what it is, Stephen, to sweat on a job. He's a joker. You would just put him there to remove him. He's just a replacement. You would do the same thing to Tommy Turnquest. Set him up there like a doll baby, and whenever he's ready to pull the plug, he pull him. That's all Michael Pentard. He ain't got no political brains. So nobody don't listen to him. He weak.
So
But
now-
you know what the problem with him is? He talk too much. He's talk and he don't know when to shut up. And he's talked so much that he don't make this sense. He's the next version of Perry Christie, just run home with foolishness all day and he ain't making no sense.
Well, let me talk to
all
you.
All talking about Grandmama. Ask him what has he done in Grandmama all the years. They had 5 or 6 members of parliament down there. For the first time, you had the minister responsible for the money, Turnquest there. And what they did to Grandmama? They ain't did diddly squat. And they ain't did do diddly squat because they ain't no diddly squat. It's time for change. In order to change it, you imagine that we can't even get the freedom of information. That's what Michael Pintard should be carrying on about. They're playing like they
we have a version of it. We have a version of it. They say they need to be strengthened. They need to be strengthened. We have a version of it. Now, let me ask you this question. With that being said, Kai, there is a fear and a relentless conversation that happens, and I'm involved in this conversation also, that says if Kai Mills was able to only get what he got last time, which is 719 votes, if you get 700 votes this time, you still put Kirk Cornish back in the House of Assembly. If you have to now capture another 600.
You know the best thing that the PLP did for Kai Mills?
Let me hear it.
They put Kirk Cornish there.
Why?
We'd have to be a bunch of asses and idiots if we're gonna vote back for Kirk.
Why?
Kirk's name is not even mentioned. You know, Kirk can't even go around campaigning. Kirk got other people going around and giving T-shirts. Which house? You don't know what's going on. Let me tell you.
Tell me.
Which house Kirk could go to? Who and where and which island, which key Kirk could go to? He can't go to Grand Key. He can't go to Grand Turtle Key. He can't go to Murphytown. He can't go to Treasure Key.
Why?
He can beat him in Coasttown.
Why?
Because he's not no good. He's being absolutely invisible.
Is that because
We don't
of...
vote for invisible.
But he had
Pike's
challenges.
Only concern. Listen to me. Listen to me. Pike only concern is to get a hairdresser to fix your hair. He has no other concern. He is not speaking on nothing of value of worth to Abaco. So we got to be the
Kai.
biggest black
Guy. But this,
dark house
he
to vote for.
had his challenges in court. He had his challenges
He
in
should have
court.
keep his little dickety pants. That's what he should have do. He won't bring out that big boy. You know, stupid yourself and your girlfriend. If your girlfriend, if your girlfriend carry the court. And guess what happened?
Guy.
Guess what happened? Guess who put Clark before the court? The no good PLP took 6 months. They found that there was enough evidence. They put their best man. You know why Clark went before the court? Y'all don't even know. You know why Clark went before the court? Because Brave never make a deal with Clark. If you step down,
Oh,
we
Kai.
can give you this.
Kai.
We can give you this.
Kai.
And Clark agreed. Clark agreed that he would step down.
But he didn't step
and
down.
they wouldn't have bring the charges before him. But what happened when Clark came back? These greedy PLP got the contract. Say, boy, you ain't stepping down. You represent our contract. You tell Brave you ain't stepping down. That's why Clark get charged. Because of these same greedy brutes here. Not because Clark
Well,
do
I didn't
nothing.
know about that. I
That's
didn't want
because
to talk
them, they
politics.
want
I
contract.
want to talk specific things because I don't know.
You ain't want
And
to
that-
talk truth.
no, but it's
You-
alleged.
you
Now I want
talking
nobody
you talking
suing
to
me.
Hey,
and
Guy.
Guy is a man of truth. I speak truth to power. I don't care who it is, when it is, how it is. When I speak like Jesus Christ speak, without fear or favor. That's the
Okay,
guy
but
with
Guy-
the law. And that's the one that's going to come cause. And this is the one. Just look at this. If Kai Mills is not elected in North Abaco, Abaco has lost another 5 year
Guy,
of grace.
you have to
Peaceful
find
representation.
another 400 to 500 votes to win the general election. Do you have that
Against
level of
them.
support? Okay, that's what I want to know.
I want to ask you a
That's
question.
what I
Guy.
know.
You know where I getting them from? Guess where I getting them from? I
wanna
getting
hear.
500 from the PLP, but now know that Koike ain't no good. And they're getting 500 from Darren. that know that the F and M ain't no good and what they sending us ain't no good. That's 1,000 right there. And then my other ones
So,
to
Kai,
bring me through.
what I want to ask you, right?
5 of the PLP.
Yeah.
But can't get 1,000 voting and
Yeah.
Abaco.
Let me ask you this
5 of
question.
him.
Let me ask you this
I take
question,
5
Kai.
from the F&M.
Guy, I remember back
Go
in the
ahead,
day, y'all had was supposed to do like a port or something down there in Little Abaco. Has it ever came true?
What?
There was supposed to be like a little port down there in Little Abaco. I remember that was a talk a long
little
time
port?
ago. Did it ever come
A
true?
little port?
Yeah, where you could have another port of entry for Abaco.
You're talking about the port in Cooperstown?
That's in Cooperstown?
Yeah,
Wow.
$40 million port. Still there rotten. $40 million
Wow.
worth.
So let me ask you this question. If you were to become the elected member of parliament for North Abaco, what changes, what plans you would have for North Abaco?
The port represent growth. 2 things that I gotta get on the back burner because the PLP so crooked we know what they did. The port and Treasure Key. You imagine that they sign off on Treasure Key and not a nail knock yet? They sign off on $1 billion deal to South Abaco, Sandy Point, and the shovel's still in the sand. I got to figure out why the shovel is still in the sand. Why on the 4 prime ministers, including Euban Ingram, that a $40 million port is not open. And guess what happened? The Marsh Harbor port, which brings in $170 million. The PLP haven't built a toilet. I wish I could have put you all on video and let you all see what's
Well,
going
Kai,
on.
I'd
in
like
the
to bring
biggest
you
port
on.
in the
I'd like
Family
to bring
Island.
you on
Not-
more often. And I'm also on ZNest, so I'd like to invite you in
Yeah,
that
I
space
want you to
also.
get too popular because I can cause you to get too much popular.
I can't
And
be
every
in
time
this
I get you all popular, you ought to show yourself. The PLPs give you a contract to go abroad. So I don't want
Guy.
you to get you too popular.
Guy,
Take
guy.
advantage of having goodness. You are in the presence of goodness.
Oh,
But
God.
the Michelle Malcolm,
Oh,
Michelle
God.
Malcolm used to do me the same thing. Michelle Malcolm said, guys, I would never, ever take no contract. Every
Oh,
time I
God.
call her, a phone, light rate up. All of a sudden, I said, where Michelle is? She took a contract on thing. I said, that's rude.
Guy,
I
I
know
want
Paul
to
to
thank
get a
you, my
contract.
brother. He was a good, decent man.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
thank you
When y'all
for
wanna hear the-
sitting here with
when y'all
me.
want to hear the truth. Listen to Kai Mills before you go.
Go ahead, Guy.
Kai Mills shall be the next member of parliament for North Abaco. Whether they like it or not, they can learn to live with it. There's no Clay Cornish that would be Kai Mills. I am prepared to beat them in every polling division. And the shocking thing about it is I'm going to beat Clay, who lives with his ma and the pa in Cooperstown. I could beat him in Cooperstown. I could beat Boodle, who lives in Cooperstown. I know who she live with. She just reached. She's trying to get herself together. But I could beat her in Cooperstown. I could beat the 2 of them that living in Cooperstown, born in Cooperstown. I could beat them, but they can't beat me in my district. That's the difference. Now, y'all put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Thank you, Guy. I appreciate the conversation, my brother. Thank you so very kindly. We really appreciate that, man.
I'm glad that I'm able to educate the uneducated.
Thank you very much.
Next time y'all want some education from Abaco, you call WCAY.
When I want to be in the presence of
because
goodness,
I care.
when I want to be in the presence of
You
goodness,
You're in the presence of almighty goodness.
all goodness, I come look for you, right? Thank you, my Guy. I appreciate you, my brother. Ladies and
Thank you for
gentlemen,
lending me your hair for a minute.
No problem,
Then
man.
I had your hair.
thank you, my
Good day,
brother.
good day.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's none other than Kai Mills, all the way from Abaco, being able to tell us about the fact that he is assured of his victory and assured of his position. We're going to take a very quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Taking Bahamian music to the world.
This DJ.
DJ Sampler, hit that subscribe button like a goat skin drum.
Hello, Ricky, it's Johnny Gate. This Johnny Gate, man, listen, don't believe they're trying to keep us locked down. They want us to go inside the kill man, till the reggae scrape, man, that's sweet music. You know why they go there. You know when they go there, it's kill man. Watch this. When the music plays, I'm the first one to dance. Sexy gal don't whine on me, while my rum in my hand. Reggae scrape so with some blue man into my hands. Reggae stay so sweet, don't think you understand. Man wanging on woman, woman wanging back on a man. I always get drinking till I loose and I wet. Nobody gon' watch me if I get over and I sweat. On your market set, drunk but I ain't missing a step. Mind if you ain't feeling why then stay over there by yourself. When Reagan Square return, I can dance, I can sing, I can wave my flag. When Reagan Square return, I can drink all the rum, I can get all mine. When Reagan Square return, I can dance, I can sing, I can wave my flag. When Reagan Square return, I can drink all the rum, I can get all mine. Get him, Ricky! Just give me the Reagan Square.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, jamming with you in these last few minutes before we get out of here. Richard, give me your thoughts. We just finished talking with Kirk. We just, Kai, talking about North Abaco, talking about independence. Yesterday, you'd have seen Hubert Minnis being able to come out and talk about that this is the ripe time for independence. We see Hubert Minnis has gotten really formal in his approach to be able to talk about his former leadership, which I believe that he is in fear of his political life because of Robin Lyons and him being on his trail. Talk to me about some stuff. What's happening?
Well, you know, the one thing I do now in this season is that I reach out to all of my contacts all over. Normally, I know when I go to Parliament, I speak to generals and other persons after speaking with MPs or ministers. I would talk to people in those communities. And one of the things that I found out, because I was just speaking with someone just yesterday, and I was asking them, I said, you live in where? I said, I live right in Kalani. So I said, where? And they told me. So I said, well, how is it that the candidates? And they said up front, they said, where we live, we just saw the first candidate, and she only came around about a day or two ago. I said, but you mean she just come around? So, man,
which constituency this is?
This is Kalani. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, we saw the candidate from the PLP came by our place 2 days ago for the first time.
Keith Bell?
Kalani.
Oh, Kalani, Robin Lyons, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
I'm
said,
thinking,
now,
go ahead.
she said now, we could tell you this. The other candidates have been around the other areas in Kalani. MacGyver, Dr. Minnis. They said, you can't ask for those people around in those areas in the constituency of Kalani that is called like Gambia and those other areas. And they said, listen, he is strong. I said, we ain't fooling you. He is strong. But where we live right here, and I think that's what they call Sea Beach State, that's in the back of Sun Fund. They say that for the years, when it came to elections, hardly any of the candidates ever come in the back there. But she said...
Minnis been back there?
Listen to what I said. She said hardly any candidate for years since they've been voting in Kalani ever come in the back there. So maybe because their polling generals assume that, hey, these people will vote for you. So you don't need to go and see them. And they're saying, listen, in this dispensation, we want to see every candidate and we want to hear your plans for...
Is that a persuasive position? Are they persuaded based upon if they see a candidate or not?
Well, they wanted to hear...
Let's just shoot straight.
Yeah,
if you can vote FNM, what the hell I wasting my time and showing
see
up?
what
If you can vote
someone said,
PLP,
like
what the
what
hell
she
I
said,
wasting
she
my
said,
time and
listen,
showing up?
We have never had nobody tell us what's the plans, but they assume.
But listen, if no political organization has showed up to your constituency, your immediate position, if they ain't showing up, then it says that they depend on your vote. They can lean on your vote. They expect your vote. There are some pockets that you just don't go to. In fact, when you campaigning, and you should know this, when you campaigning and you walk on the ground and you have a very short time, a general should be from that constituency, that community directly.
Well, that's the
That
problem.
general would say things like, okay, Howard, I spoke to these people for you. You straight. Let's go.
But what I'm saying now in this election, so-called coming up, many of these generals are persons that don't really know some of these constituencies. A lot of them are friends of the
Well, you
candidate.
can't be a general if you don't know.
And that's one of the things that...
And if that's how they see these
Yes.
new age politicians
yes, and
are
that's what
dumb.
yes, and I'm telling you this because I'm
They
talking
got
to
to
people.
be dumb.
Because people are saying to me, say, man...
I don't need you to be a general just because you is my friend.
Yeah.
I need to know the constituency.
And
I need
said-
to know who is who, where is where, how is how, and what is what.
How-
I don't need to
I
know.
told someone before, I said, listen, I'm not in nobody's camp. But I said, if you seriously want to understand the people, I said, here it is, your candidate, you working with him. You're supposed to make sure that the registry is on whose names on there, who they say they are. You're supposed to verify these things. And I said, because when I heard Mr. Thompson from the parliamentary registrar said that they have 196,000 people already registered from January. And he said they're going to go around to verify the people that's living or in those places where they are. I said,
Hold on.
That's impossible.
Hold on. The registry had about 180,000, anywhere from 160 to 180,000 before. This was the old registry that would turn over. So he said there was 190,000 people registered from January.
that's what he said.
190,000 people registered from January.
He said that it was
That's
100.
absolutely impossible.
He said,
That's impossible.
Howard, that's what he said.
190,000 people. January,
190 he
January
said-
last year.
No.
January
Let me see.
2026.
I'm going to look it up right now. I told you I saw it, and I was like,
No.
way.
No, that 100. Listen, I went to register, my wife and I. We didn't even go to register. All we did was a transference. That take us almost 45 minutes. I see everybody say, oh, it's going to quick process and so forth and so on. Yeah.
It isn't.
took me 45 minutes. And the only reason the lady pushed it is because I had to go.
They said as of January 26th, there are more than 196,000 people registered to vote in the Bahamas, according to the Parliamentary Commissioner,
Okay.
Harrison Thompson.
Okay, that means that 26,000 people or so
But-
just been fresh registrants.
But what I'm saying is this. How, with this new system that is going to be in place for those first-time voters, with the biometrics, on the old voters card, if you look at it, it has where you're born. That's the one thing it says on it. You're born in the Bahamas, that's there. Your date of birth. On the biometric new voters card, you will not see that information. So I'm saying,
No, but the
How are you
information is there.
but what I'm saying, if you are a candidate, and if you are a poll worker for a candidate, any candidate, it's going to be impossible for Mr. Thompson Dawes to verify, because all they're doing is taking from one government agency and just updating. When you, as a candidate, and your workers supposed to basically get the whole information, verify, and if you see inadequacies, point it out to the parliamentary registrar and say, hey, Mr. Grant, the person they told is on this registry, see, is deceased. Oh, we didn't get to that. Help them, because it's going to be impossible for the registrar to find every single person that is on that list. It's going to be impossible. And I don't think they have the team in place to go through the whole country and verify it.
How many persons was there? 196,000? 196, how many did you say? 996.
196,000 as of January 26.
Okay, so that means that 2,524 persons registered to vote.
And they still taking on people to vote.
Oh, they're telling you like this. Unless they could identify, we've extracted 15,000 persons from 2021 to 2020 to currently. We've extracted 15,000 persons. We've moved this. X amount of persons have died. Boom, boom, boom. And as a result of that, we could say 12,328 people have registered to vote. As a result of this 12,328 persons, the majority of them, and all this is just numbers, This ain't hard, or there's no difficulty in this.
But-
People just put complexity to this. It's
Yeah.
nothing complex. It's just numbers.
I
If
agree.
the last registered voters in 2021 was 194,524. That was the last registered vote. If the Parliamentary Registration Department is indicating right now that there is 196,000, that only means that 1,476. That's it.
Yeah. Because
1,476 persons registered to vote, 476 persons who are brand new applicants to the process. Now, we do remember that this process entailed rolling over, right? So this was almost this is a permanent register.
Yes.
So for persons who would have lived, existed, deceased, moved from one constituency to another, they are still in this 194,000.
yes.
So unless it has been cleaned by Harrison Thompson and him being able to extract it and come back and give us a public account or give us some sort of information that we can receive off the off the internet and say, all right, we took 15,000 people off the registry.
Yeah. But this isn't coming forward.
These are the numbers and the names of the persons that we took off the registry.
I agree with you.
That
Howard.
shouldn't be difficult. These are
It
the
isn't.
names of the persons who have been registered. If you double check these particular names, they've moved to the country, they've deceased, they've this, they've that, boom, 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 boom. Whatever the case may be, there should be a reason why you extracted 15,000 people off the registry.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying, Howard. If I was a candidate, just like what you said, I would be doing that myself also.
No, but the candidates are dumb. No, not everybody.
I
I can't
understand.
say all y'all
No,
dumb.
no,
I
that's
didn't
why
mean to
I-
say that.
but-
What I mean to say is that, let me say this. Mikhail Barnaby has walked with the previous candidate for a very long time. He understands what needs to be done on the ground. Okay? Who has walked with the candidates? I think Robin Lyons had an opportunity to be able to walk with her candidates, right? There's a great deal of people who understand the workings of how
Yes.
how these particular things work because they walk with they walk with the previous candidate.
Yes.
They walked in another constituency, so they know how things should look. No matter what new technology that you try to be able to underlay with it, no matter what new technology that you try to be able to introduce with it, new concepts, new ideas, new approach that you want to take, there is a tradition that you cannot change. This is only numbers, and we only dealing with people. That's it. People are not even people no more. People have become numbers.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
And because I see you as a number, I have to treat you in a particular manner. So, back to your point. If I deal with numbers and I deal with time, I know people think that they see themselves, and this is what a good politician would do. A good politician don't make you to understand that you was a number.
Yeah.
But every politician talking to you for numbers. That's all they're talking to you for.
Yeah, that's all they
numbers.
need.
We're talking to you for numbers. We want you to vote for us.
Yes.
And if we can't get you to vote for us, I can't waste my time here. Because I can be honest with you, some political organizations have taken on their position and they say things like, all right, listen, he's a PLP. When the fella come to your house, make sure you talk to him for about 2 hours to stop him from going and campaigning into other persons and so forth and so on. They tell you these things. These are tactics and strategies of those that oppose your position. You have to have a strong team,
Yes.
not your friend from a different island, different constituency, different settlement who never did with politics before, but they smart at what they do. You could be smart at what you do till Jesus come, but if you don't know these things on this ground, come
Especially
from around here,
politics.
you'll waste my time. I ain't got no time to be wasting with you. I want to hear Howard. I know everybody in this corner. That's Sarah. That's this.
Yes.
Sarah. Them got 7 children. Oldest child ready to vote right now. So that's 8 voters in the house right now. We could be able to do this. Boom, boom, boom. Now they normally support the Free National Movement, but Sarah was indifferent because she expected some things from Dr. Minnis. We've been talking.
Yes.
And now, if you talk with Sarah, just let her know the plans and whatnot.
Yeah.
You may not be able to get all 8 voters in the house, but I'm sure you could be
But
able to
treat us a
capture
human.
3.
That's all.
You
Treat
could
us
capture
somebody.
3. That's what a good general would
Yes.
do.
And it's Howard, it's so funny you brought
Nobody
that
know
up.
that say. This is what your good general is doing.
When
Good
I
general,
listen to a lot of
this
those
is what
out
you're
there,
supposed to do.
and I was like, wow, these people don't understand politics.
It's just politics. This ain't
And
nothing
they-
hard.
And I said, it ain't hard.
Ain't hard.
'Cause I
As
have
soon
to
as
tell-
I got this information,
Yeah.
I go right by Sarah. I say, hey, how you doing, Miss Sarah? All is well? Hey, Howard, I can't believe you show up to me. What's happening with you? Everything good, Miss Sarah? I understand that y'all got strong support for the FNM. Praise God, amen, right? Oh, Howard, why you so fool? But you, my family's FNM.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, that's dialogue.
Right.
Just a little 5-minute dialogue can convince somebody.
Well, Miss
to go
Sarah,
down
you
the
know
road
I
with you.
come from the FNM too. What? Yeah, Miss Sarah, you know my mother ran for the FNM, and you know we understood some things have shifted and some things have happened, and we just had to ask ourselves a couple questions. Now I don't know if you had your chance to ask yourself these questions, but for the very first time, we see that some things are not changing in the country. For the very first time, we're seeing that people are not indifferent with leadership. For the very first time, we're seeing some things happen, and we thought that this could be able to be to our benefit. We wanted to be able to support them, and we want to be able to support boom, 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 boom. Simple.
Yeah.
That's campaigning.
I tell a particular
We laughing.
individual, and I said to them, I said, listen, man. He said to me, well, if you was to run and work with the campaign, I said, listen, man, you don't need a volume in the library. I said, you need about 5 pages, and that's enough for you to work with and go and meet people, come back, report back to the candidate. You talk to the individuals, but you also
But
let the
they don't know
candidate-
how to talk. Some of
Yes.
them, I watch them. I watched.
And it's sad.
I watched some of these new candidates that were introduced to the fold stand behind the seasoned candidates as they're being introduced, but they don't talk.
No.
They don't talk. Now let me show you some things that anybody can tell you, and we fresh flat at the time. This is how you do this. You walk up to the people. Hi, good afternoon. How you doing? All right. They know who you is.
Yeah.
Before you come, they know who you is. You said, I'm Howard Grant. Howard Grant, is very nice to meet you. I'm Sarah. Sarah, what's your last name? Sarah Forbes. Forbes? You's a Forbes, Miss Sarah? Yeah, it's a Forbes. Where you Forbes from? I married into Forbes. Oh, you married into Forbes. Okay. So your husband from Drake's Island?
Oh, shucks.
You see what I did there?
Yes.
You see
Oh.
what I did there?
You break
You
the-
better
you
know
break
what's
dice.
going on.
You break dice.
You gotta know it. You got to know how to do this. Bahamian people like to know where the connection is.
That's all it is, cuz. That's all it be.
You got to
about.
learn this. You sitting down there waiting for somebody to talk for you. Talk to Miss Sarah. No, well, I was born green. I from Andres. Oh, you from Andres? Oh, Mangrove Key.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I from Mangrove Key. My family from Mangrove Key. Oh, Miss Sarah. Okay. It's good to meet you. I had a chance to stay down Mangrove Key one time. It's a beautiful place. I enjoy myself down there. It really looked like West End, you know. Yeah, I've been to West End before, you know. It does. Me and Miss Sarah didn't talk. The ice didn't break.
Yes.
Miss Sarah, I come in for your vote.
Bang, she can vote for you.
I come in for your vote. That's what this is what you do.
'Cause-
I don't understand how these fellas is campaign.
What is
and by being able to come to me and tell me, oh, well, what I'm going to do in your community. Sir, you ain't even from around here.
Yeah.
How you can come around here and tell me what you can do in my community? First thing I need to do is get to know these people.
Yes. Because what has happened over the years, and you think about it, since, I would say, your mom, after that generation of political
2007.
mindset,
The old fellas gone, they step
this
out.
new crew has no understanding how to campaign.
Ain't nobody teach them. That ain't their fault.
Yeah, but
The old fellas was too busy trying to be able to get a little sweet thing in a can, looking for this, looking for that, hoping the fella put something in an envelope. Put it right there. Leave it right there. Mm-hmm.
don't name on the bag.
No.
Don't put no name on the bag.
No. Don't put your hand in your pocket, for Jesus Christ's sake. Don't let nobody see you doing that.
Don't put nothing on the bag.
Leave it
Don't-
right there.
Plain envelope.
Go.
Go.
Don't write not a damn thing on the envelope.
I know. I've been through that experience since '92.
Don't write nothing on the envelope. Leave it right there.
I would,
All right. Hey, all right, Bala. Good
Yeah.
to see you. That's what they was too busy doing. They didn't take the time to teach the next generation what needs to be done.
And that is the biggest fault. I tell people that political organizations don't understand that for you to be an effective organization, you have to know these things. This is something that everyone is saying, oh, no.
But this information exists in the organizations. Let's not trip. This information exists in the PLP. This information exists in the FNM. You have to be hungry to know how to do your job superb. Listen to me. When I first started the hotel and I first started doing work in the hotel, guys says, well, after 2, we got to be able to get out of here. When I first started the hotel and first started doing jobs at the hotel, let's just be very clear about something. Ain't nobody can teach you how to do their job.
No.
Ain't nobody can teach you how to come and cause them to get fired. Nobody can teach you that. You got to go and find out. And the beauty about being able to find out is that you learn even more. You become exposed, you become understanding, and you really solidify yourself in this position. You can literally call yourself a politician, not just by the sake of your affiliation, but by your experience. Yes. There's a great deal of people who are identified as politicians by their experience, not necessarily their proximity to power, their proximity to leadership, their proximity to... They understand the nature of how politics moves, and it has its being in our country. You have to learn how to tap into that. And what I need to do right now is tap into a goodbye. I want to thank you so very kindly. I want to thank you guys so much for being able to be tuning in with us today, man. I had a great conversation. I want to thank Kai Mills all the way from North Abaco for calling in with us and really being able to talk to us. I want to thank my good cousin for being here with me.
No problem, cuz. Anytime, man. Anytime.
He was a good, decent man. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the foundation. I want to thank you so very kindly. You're going to see us on Monday. God spare life. Have a beautiful weekend. Be safe in all that you do. Pray that the Father watches over me and you as we're separate from one another. And until we get together again on Monday, you're going to see me right here on the foundation. And then, God spare our lives, on the rundown. And have a great time, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Take your little sweet thing in the can somewhere. Squeeze her. Bite her on the elbow. My God. Don't get her pregnant. There ain't no time for that. We ain't got no time for that. Amen.
Honey tight.
Praise God. Guys, it's a beautiful weekend, man. Enjoy yourself. Take your sweet thing out. On Monday, on Sunday, actually, we're going to be entering the Ides of March. Tomorrow's the 28th. Sunday is the 1st of March. So the Ides of March is going to be upon us. And we're going to be officially being able to wrap up the first quarter of 2026. Let's talk about it. We'll see you on Monday. God spare our lives right here on the foundation. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy yourselves. I will see you again.
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahama land to the foundation.